So, KG, you sent me one about road safety, so that's yours. Then, Munamachiamo, you've got the growing your own vegetables. And Sesetu, you've got how to be a good listener. And then during the ad break, this one came in from Rachel Kiribone, take the stress out of exams. So these are all past papers as far as I can see. Certainly 3 of them are. So once again, what do I assume? You've got the past paper, you've done the summary. You then went to the memo, which is on the net, and you marked your work. And you went, got a problem. Please tell me what that problem was. So, like Rachel, take the stress out of exams. Maybe you want to number your points and then say, these are the points I got, but they're not the points the examiner got. Could you explain to me why the points are different? Something like that. Am I right? Am I wrong? What is the problem? This is why Mbali said right at the beginning of the program that you need to be specific, because I don't know what you want me to do. I mean, I could write it all out and then find the points, but the points are in the memo. So if you want the points, go to the memo. Okay, all right. The first thing is with summary writing is look at these things. They actually give you a topic. They say read the passage and find 7 points around road safety education for learners, growing your own vegetables, how to be a good listener, how to take the stress out of exams. They actually give you a topic. So you have to look at the topic. Is that the problem? Because earlier this year when we actually had classes, I did a summary, gave it to my students, said, please do it, and then said, okay, guys, here's the memo, and I handed out the memo, and I said, mark your own work and give me the memo back. And one of my students said, you know something? I read the headline. So let's say listening. This is the one from Sesetu Dianase. It just says listening. And my student said, you know what I did? Is I just wrote a summary about listening. I didn't look at the topic, which was how to be a good listener. That's what I had to do. Now, I said to her at that point, that's fabulous, because I'd much rather you made that mistake now in class, and this was like February, January. Much better to make it then than to make it in the exam. So is that the problem? Are you reading the headline, which might say listening, as opposed to the topic? The topic is usually printed in bold. So get a highlighter or a pen or a pencil and check that you are actually answering the topic. Maybe that's the problem. All right, then I just put down some basic points. At the moment, FOUL students, you're asked to answer in point form. Home language students, at the moment, you're asked to answer in paragraph form. Both home language and FOUL, you have to have 7 points. Both home language and FOUL, you answer in full sentences, not fragments, not little bitty things. You have to have a specific number of words. FOUL, it's usually around 70. Home, it's usually around 90. FOUL, you have to number your points 1 to 7. So you actually go like that. Home language, you don't have to do that. FOUL, you are told 1 point per sentence. So you go number 1 and you have 1 point. What happens here is if you have 2 points, what the examiners think are 2 points, then they will give you the mark for the first point and they'll ignore your second point. Both of you, you have to indicate the number of words at the end. So I like it done in square brackets on the right-hand side. Now, I've spoken to you before. Both FOUL and home language, you get the instruction, answer in your own words. But I recommend all of you, doesn't matter if you're home or FOUL, try to change the words in the passage a little bit only. What happens if you quote? If you quote all your 7 points, you get 7 points. The marker's told to tick, find the point in the memo, and put the number of the point in the memo against the tick in the candidate script, right? So you've got tick 5, tick 4, tick 3. Even if you've numbered it 1, 2, and 3, that's irrelevant. The marker is looking for the points. Home language, they can go tick 5. Oh, you've got a second point right there. Oh, you've got a third point right there. It's fine. If you quote, they will put a Q or an L, depending on what the instruction is for that year. L is lifted. No changes made at all. Then they will give you 7 plus. So foul, you can get 7 plus 1. Home language, you'll get 7 plus 0. But that's out of 10. So you can get 70 or 80% if you're foul out of 10 for not using your own words at all. So when you get the instruction to use your own words, make small changes. So the marker can see, yes, this is point number 3, but the child has used its own words a little bit. All right, what if you use your own words a lot? Well, sometimes the marker reads your summary and says, I can't recognize any of the points in the memo. So the memo has it lifted, and then the memo has suggested own words. And the marker's going, gosh, I don't know if this is this point. So make it easy for the marker. Use just little changes, okay? And then they will give you another 1 or another 2 marks. So you'll either get 10 out of 10 or 9 out of 10. Home language, you get 1 or 2 or 3 for using your own words. All right, so it's worth it just to lift. If you're having trouble, then just lift or quote, because you can get home language 7, foul 8 out of 10. Right, I'm not sure if I planned anything else. No, that goes to the cartoon. So before I move to the cartoon, Njabulo, you said, what are the key things you need to do in writing a summary? You look at the topic and you find the points that answer the topic. So not listening, but what makes you a good listener. Is it possible for a summary to have 2 sides? Yes, but then they would tell you what makes a good listener and what are bad listeners. They would give you that in the topic. So in Njabulo, at the moment, are they giving two topics? No, not for foul, not for home. But I don't know what they might do at the end of this year or whenever we write our exams. So look at the topic and then find the points that answer the topic. Then Tutu, you said, how do you write an accurate summary while following instructions? So Tutu, your accurate summary must be accurate according to the points that answer the topic. So you follow your instructions. I don't know, you didn't tell me if you're home language or FAL. So I've gone through all the instructions for you. If there's anything there you don't understand, tell me. Go back and look at your instructions for whichever exam you're writing. If there's a problem, tell me. Right. Okay. That's summary writing. Put all of that aside.